After this, it's on YouTube. This is a recap of the Fresolo Pezzella debate at the district candidate forum earlier this week. It was on Tuesday, and it was absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not going to tell you or the listener which speaker is which, because it's part of my theory that it doesn't actually matter fucking even a little bit. They are identical politically, but they are so mad at each other. Yeah.
Awesome. Can't wait.
All right, here it is. It's 5 minutes, so you gotta buckle up.
I'm ready.
Thank you and good evening. My name is John Fresolo, and everything I say tonight will be based on facts.
I'm going to be a different cat on the council.
There's a stark difference between me and my opponent: experience and understanding.
We need the support of our Worcester police.
This campaign isn't about politics. It's about results, respect, and responsibility. You need to clean the protesters out of the chamber and
clean the protesters out of the
But when it gets to
chamber.
a point where it becomes heated and it becomes tenuous,
I believe we need a lowest residential tax rate.
I'm for the lowest residential tax rate in this city and district, unlike what my opponent has been saying when he's going to $7,000, that he said, I am not.
Oh yeah,
And I
John
have
also
something
claimed to knock on
waiting
7,000
later on that
doors,
will
which I don't
show how much of a lie that is.
No chance to respond to that?
Mom and pop stores come all the time into our community. And a lot of them
Look at him, he's taking the paper out.
Business in District 3 thrives.
So I'm for the lowest residential tax rate in the city. I just want to make that very clear tonight. And for those of you who might be hesitant because of misinformation going around in my campaign, right here. This is my mailing, right here.
I brought my mailer.
Yes, Tony.
Look here.
No,
Tony, what's it say, Tony?
Objective viewer.
Support the lowest residential tax rate.
Right here, folks. This has been going out to the residents and voters of District 3. I am for the very lowest residential tax rate.
Yes, remember I asked you to fact check? I'm going to ask you to fact check now. Here is my opponent's website printed out. In the area taxes, he does not list anywhere that he's for the lowest residential tax rate. That mailing just came out because he knows he's going to the doors and finding that people are supporting me and my stance on the lowest residential tax rate.
Revolutionary
Again,
stance on the lowest
No,
residential
amazing.
tax
Go
rate.
to his
We gotta
website
talk
and
about
see what
that.
he says about taxes. If he is for the lowest residential tax rate, put it on your website. I only go by what he has on his website. Now, as far as lying, no, I'm not lying. I'm for the... Excuse me.
Always good when the gavel has to come out at a candidate debate.
Audience participation effort. It's a forum. If you interrupt again, I'm going to ask you to leave.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, I have been 7,000 doors. I know I've heard a little anger in my opponent's voice. 7,000 doors. And I've talked to people, and I'm for the lowest residential tax rate, and that's what I tell them when I go to the doors.
I don't think there's 7,000 doors in the district.
It's right here on his website.
That's a good point.
Check it out. Please go to your phones and check it out.
Folks, it's the same talk the talk or walk the walk. I've walked the walk for over 40 years in helping the citizens and residents of District 3. Please look at my resume, look at my body of work, and see what I have done in helping people in the community in District 3. The marginalized groups that I have helped, people in need,
I love that line.
pick up
The
in their lives
marginalized groups.
that needed help. I have done that. Thank you.
You know, my opponent talks a lot about honesty and trust, and I agree. Voters deserve both. Excuse me. Paul, I expect to have my time back. Go while people are talking. Okay. Honestly, isn't about who can shout the loudest or point the most fingers. It's about telling the truth and standing by your record. I've always been upfront with the people of District 3. When I say I support the lowest possible residential tax rate, it's because I believe families and seniors are already paying more than enough. My opponent has accused me of lying about that. But if you visit his own website, you won't see that same commitment written anywhere. Those are the facts. The difference between us is simple. I don't just talk about honesty, I live it by being clear about where I stand and by doing
Again,
the work.
this is a man who
That's what leadership
has
means
resigned
to me,
a
showing
state
up,
house
being
seat
accountable, and delivering for the people who
during
live
an
here.
ethics investigation.
Check OCPF. My opponent, 75% of his money comes from outside the district. 83% of my money within the district. All people who give $10, $15, $50. Look it up. Those are the facts. Please fact check me. And believe me, I will be the counselor that you deserve. Thank you.
Oh, that grin. Ooh.
He's so self-satisfied.
And Louise, it's your...
He's chirping at somebody at the end
Oh,
there. He's
yeah.
going like, oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. See you outside. See you outside.
It's definitely Rob Pezzella's like girlfriend / wife style. I don't know. So apparently, I wasn't in the room for it, but apparently, his partner was like getting up, Jerry Springer style, out of her seat, and just chirping John Fresolo like constantly all night. And that when the guy from the Research Bureau was banging the gavel on David Webb, that was when John Fresolo went, fact check me, go on your phones now, go on his website and see if it lists supports lowest residential tax rate. And David Webb did that, and he was like, yeah, it does say that.
Well, I printed it out.
Yeah, I printed it out before that. Oh man, if we explain the Wayback Machine to John Fresolo, he's going to have such a time with that.
Man, yeah. Yeah, you could find quite a few things out about John Fresolo using the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I might have like a Google Drive folder of a lot of things that have been found about John Fresolo over the years, and I'm saying, I might have that in my possession, and it might be sort of a Dead Man Switch style situation that it will get released if John Fresolo ever speaks to me, ever comes up to me and says a word to me. I am just releasing that link.
Yep.
So, John,
Just pushing the button.
John, you can fact check that. If you're listening to this, which I doubt you are, you can take that one to your grave, brother. But yeah, so that was the sort of tenor and spirit of the District Candidates Forum on Tuesday, which was just fascinating. It says all you need to know about what our city council is, and more importantly, isn't. And the lowest residential tax rate thing that everyone campaigns on is definitely, to my mind, the most emblematic, just, I don't know, collective delusion or like lie, or like everyone campaigns as if this is some sort of significant decision.
Guys, yeah. So, first, I want to say, John Fresolo has an interesting relationship with the truth, but he did say one thing there that I wholeheartedly believe is the truth, and that is that he is the candidate that the type of people who were in the room cheering for their favorite sports team equivalent of district candidate, he is exactly the type of candidate that those people deserve.
Yes.
If you were in the room, I'm not talking about you. You know who I'm talking about. He is the candidate that they deserve. And yeah, Bill, you brought this up in the newsletter recently, and I was very happy you did, because this is a thing that annoys me to no end. Literally everyone campaigns on the lowest residential tax rate, and it constitutes essentially a rounding error in what your property taxes actually are.
Yeah.
Do you know what makes people's property taxes go up a fucking ton more than whatever the residential tax rate is? speculative real estate.
The entire development strategy of Worcester City Hall, reaffirmed by the majority of every councilor, every session, every budget they pass, every fucking city manager they hire.
Yes.
The whole thing is a growth machine to juice real estate value, and there's nothing that deciding an arbitrary split between commercial and residential is going to do for your tax bill that the overall praxis of this sort of like I don't know what you want to call it, the political insiders that control City Hall, the plans they've been laying out for decades, that has way more to do with it than the fucking tax rate.
Yeah.
No one says that though. It's kind of weird.
I know it's very strange. It is the very obvious truth that none of these people like to really talk about. But yeah, when you are a retiree on a fixed income, and the house that you bought for 50 grand went from being worth 150 grand to 500 grand, that's great for you if you have to sell or want to sell and, go somewhere else or something, or it's great for your kids when they inherit it. But for you living there, that just means your tax bill goes up 3 times as much.
Yeah, and in the meantime, if you can't afford that tax bill, the city will repossess your house and sell it to a real estate speculator.
Or you can go to a work camp.
Or you can go to a work camp and get approximately, we did the math a couple of weeks ago, at maximum 2/3 of it knocked off. If you spend a month of your retirement doing minimum wage work for the city. That's another thing that came up at the candidates forum. I don't have a clip for it, but Rob and Candy, they didn't get into it like John and Rob did. No one got into it like John and Rob did. That was really embarrassing. And I put those little clips of them talking about what they do to protesters in there, just to draw a line that this apparently is civility. Like what they were doing is civility, but
yeah, that's a very good point.
When it's wokies, it's political violence.
Yeah,
right?
We have to clean them up like they're garbage.
Right. So
like they're a puddle of piss on the floor.
So anyway, it came up. Candy Mero-Carlson was like, or Rob Bellata said, I want to do what Boston did and pursue like a home rule petition to expand the amount of tax relief we can offer seniors over and above what's outlined in state law presently, right? Candy Mero-Carlson responds to that the same way she has been, just apparently unable to grasp the concept. And it's just like, every year we vote for the maximum amount of tax relief that we could ever possibly provide seniors, and also we have the work-off program. It's like, dude, you still don't get it, huh? You still don't freaking get it.
keep pushing that work-off program, Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 16 people who have availed themselves of it are definitely going to vote for you.
Yeah.
It's so gross earlier this year when her and Kate Toomey were like, how do we get these numbers up on the work camps for seniors? How do we get more of them in there? Yeah. Another highlight was that frickin' Tony Economou said that the DOJ report is just words on paper.
I did see that.
And if you don't name names, then the investigation is useless. Good. Keith had a really good response to that, but Tony basically had a standing ovation line when he was just like, "We need to support our Worcester Police Department," and it was just like, "Yeah."
Yeah, just words on paper.
It's just words on paper.
Fuck, I like that. The fucking Constitution's just words on paper.
Yeah. You know what else is? You know what's objectively just words on paper? Any summary of events provided by a Worcester police officer in an arrest, in an arrest document. That is, that is very often just words on paper, famously so, recently with Ashley Springs' case, getting the dangerous weapon charge dropped because the cops straight up just lied on the arrest report.
Yeah, just words on paper.
Just words on paper. Oh, Thomas Duffy was at the forum too, strapped. He was strapped at the forum, so... yeah.
Can't be too careful, I guess.
Yeah, you can't be too careful. I mean, there might be some incivility. You might have to crack some skulls to get things to be civil again. Yeah.
That's amazing that he's just... I mean, I guess it's not amazing. It completely matches the character, but I did not know that he just rolls around strapped all the time.
Yeah.
A thing that is very... okay, so... like, that is a thing I could technically do, and I never do because it's fucking weird. And
it's a little gauche.
It's a little gauche. A little gauche to just carry a gun around all the time.
Yeah.
It says things about you, and it says things about how you see the world and the people that you're in it with.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we do not. I cannot stress enough how little we actually sort of prepare for this most times. And
you know what it is, Chris? Before you get going here, and I know what you're about to say about us not preparing, I'm going to reference, a colleague of ours, Pablo Picasso, right? He sells the, he charges somebody $400 for the little drawing he makes on the napkin. And he goes, wow, you charged me a lot for this. It only took you 10 minutes. And he goes, no, it actually took me 35 years, right? So we might not prepare for every single episode, but we basically spend our entire lives preparing for these episodes.
It's true. We did spend our entire lives preparing for these episodes. And I agree also that Pablo Picasso is our peer and our equal.
It's
and
true.
We are his.
And we're not the only people saying that.
No, more and more people are saying it. I'm hearing it more and more.
Get out your phones, type in Chris Rabarge, Bill Shaner, Pablo Picasso.
And something will come up.
And just see. I want you to fact check me.
Yeah.
Everything we say in this podcast is based on facts.
I printed Pablo Picasso's website, and I have it right here.
Dude, the fact that he held up a printout of the website. And it's like, dude, you can't just print out a website. There are sub-pages, that it doesn't format very well. It's not a primary source document, dude. It's like, it's so crazy.
I just, it's a very special kind of person who prints out a website. And again, I'm not supporting anyone in that race. I can't vote in that race. If I could, I would be voting for, I don't know, school sucks or something. But John Fresolo undoubtedly is the funniest candidate that we could get out of that shit show, and also, frankly, the most likely to manage to get himself perp walked out of City Hall.
Right. And part of the thing I was trying to achieve with that video, before we move on to this structure you prepared for us, part of the thing I was trying to achieve with that video is to demonstrate, I keep coming back to this phrase of the narcissism of small differences. John Fresolo and Rob Pezzella are politically, ideologically, demographically identical people. They will vote identically on everything. They will propose the same things and they will vote the same way. So, if that's the case, it behooves us to get the funnier of the two.
Absolutely. Do you want the guy who maybe allegedly got shit-faced in his car and was maybe doing other things in there and got locked into a cemetery? Or do you want Rob Pezzella? Because I know which of those things will be funnier.
I was talking to somebody at the last election squad, and I was like, that guy's got easily Googleable skeletons, and they were defending him. And they said, yeah, well, Rob Pezzella's got a sealed record. So that's something that's something to keep in mind, I guess. He's got a sealed record.
I didn't know that.
And it's definitely not for a DUI. That wouldn't be my first guess. That wouldn't be my first guess, is that it's for DUI while he was working either under Ray Mariano or for Maureen Binyenda's school administration. No, that wouldn't be it.
Yeah, I did appreciate lest Rob get off easy here. I did appreciate him talking about what he's done for marginalized communities. Things like letting families spend more time with their children because they were suspended out of school or expelled at pretty concerning rates under Rob Pezzella.
Yeah, like a glaring racial disparity in suspensions while he was the safety executive or whatever sort of position Maureen Binyenda invented for him. He was the head of safety.
Yeah.
He's also the guy who brought in Alice training.
Yeah, he's the guy who brought in Alice training. I am trying to remember the number of kindergartners that were suspended out of school under Rob Pezzella, and I believe that number was higher than 100. So yeah, a lot of people getting to spend more time with their kindergartners because they were suspended out of school.
Imagine that meeting with the parents. My opponent says he's not a little punk, but I know he's a little punk. You know he's a little punk.
I know he's a little punk. Yeah. Gotta get rid of him. So, the thing that we said we were going to talk about a few times last week and then just actually never did was about the other Rob, the Rob we like, Rob Bellata in District 2. Rob wrote a great editorial in the TNG about CSX money, mitigation money that we've been getting from CSX since they built the rail yard expansion off of Shrewsbury Street, and about how there is a pool of money that's just sitting there that Candy has not made one proposal in over 8 years that we use in any way.
And it's just sitting there.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. Just money on the table. Really, Candy really fighting hard for the district, ... and delivering. Here's a little quote. The original $1 million allocation would provide $333,333 per neighborhood, so each district of the ones that were included in the mitigation, one of which is Candy's district. Former city manager O'Brien also agreed to forward fund $1 million in gate fee contributions, therefore increasing each neighborhood's allocation to $666,666. I included that solely because that is a funny number.
That is a good number.
These gate fee allocations, by the way, are a fee that CSX pays for every box of freight that moves through the yard. Every one of those cars that's on the back of a train, we get money from CSX for them moving through. That we could use for stuff, except Candy hasn't. According to a recent report from City Manager Eric Batista, the CSX neighborhood improvement funds have sat unused and untouched for the last 7 years. The report, requested by City Councilor-at-Large Christian King, first appeared on the May 6th City Council agenda. It was then held under privilege by Candy Mero-Carlson for 2 weeks in a row. Mo gives her a run for her money, but really no one acts as instinctively out of spite as Candy Mero-Carlson does. According to the report, the three neighborhood funds have a combined total of $647,327, and there's over $1 million in the gate fee account. Over the last 8 years, Candy Carlson has not requested that money be used for anything, nor has it even been discussed on the council floor since August of 2018.
Is that how they're paying back the fucking... is that how they're making up the difference on the Polar Park loan?
It's a very good question.
Because they're doing it somehow. And we would not be privy to that conversation unless somebody like Christian asked a very specific line of questions, like basically hacked the mainframe of the financial office. So it's not like it's not like there was like anything really, really bad that could be immediately ameliorated by $1 million that happened in District 2 over like the past maybe like 2 summers. I don't think that it wasn't like there was 2 children that got hit by cars. One of them died and one of them was put into a coma, and there have been no improvements to either of those locations in terms of pedestrian safety since.
Definitely also not dozens of people sleeping rough on the streets with no resources, no food, no shelter, et cetera, just garbage cans just overflowing all over the Green Street, Main Street, Front Street, Foster Street area.
Not like we have maxed out capacity for temporary shelter and a laundry list of permanent supportive housing units to support our ostensible in-name only housing first model that could be jump-started by some seed cash from this pool of money that apparently exists.
Yeah, definitely not a day center that still doesn't exist. That maybe could get opened a little bit faster if some funds became available. No, there's I'm glad that money's just sitting there doing nothing because I don't know, Candy forgot, doesn't give a shit. She hasn't figured out a way yet for some of it to wind up in her pocket.
Made a deal, put it all on Dogecoin, and doesn't want to say so.
Put it all on Doge.
I do not
to the moon.
Currently, and have never had a Robinhood account.
I am not hodling. Speaking of, there is one interesting and somewhat positive development that came out of District 2 that we also have talked about recently. I won't spend a lot of time on it because we've talked about it a lot, but I have an update on the LVT tower.
Oh yeah, I saw the Telegram did a follow-up.
Yeah, the tower is gone. A couple days after we talked about it last, I went out one day and the tower was gone. And wouldn't you know it, there was a really interesting article in the Telegram about how the tower was removed. And according to the police chief, it was an abject failure in every way, shape, or form.
That's awesome.
And we're not keeping it, I guess, which is great.
That's sick.
It is a testament to how fucking bad it had to have actually been that they yanked it. But apparently it didn't work. It didn't help. The video was garbage. It also wouldn't connect with their real-time crime center. It was just a useless piece of shit, so much that even the police chief had to admit as much.
Damn. The Access Task Force is not providing that much access? Man, that's crazy, dude.
Who'd have thought?
That's so crazy. Look at us inventing the structure on the fly. I have another Telegram-related story that I put together while doing my news roundup this morning. So Ashlyn Doyle, Worcester Sucks education reporter extraordinaire, might I add, doing the best school committee coverage in the city, best coverage of the school committee we've had in a long time, and a real pleasure to be the editor and publisher of that. Ashlyn just put out an election guide, and Chris, I am going to I don't have the link handy for this first one. I am going to read the Dianna Biancheria section of Ashlyn's candidate guide. And then I'm going to read the Telegram profile of Dianna Biancheria. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read just a couple paragraphs from each, and it's going to be fun and funny. And
while you're pulling that up, I'll just say that I follow Dianna on Facebook, and I do that because it's really funny.
Is she talking shit all the time on there?
She doesn't talk shit. She just, imagine just seeing what the dumbest person that you have ever met is up to day to day. And she hangs out, her and Kate Toomey and Candy and Donna Colorio and Kathy Roy, they are just little social butterflies together. They love going places together and taking pictures together. And if you want to see that happens all the time, just go to Diana's Facebook page. No, the thing I saw on there the other day is, are you aware of Boo and the Woo? The haunted ballpark thing they're doing?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, they're doing like a haunted ballpark.
Corn maze?
They have a corn maze in the outfield, I guess.
Holy shit. Children of the Corn?
Children of the Corn. Diana and Kathy and one or two of those other people, I can't remember which, so I'm not going to implicate anyone. But she was definitely there with Kathy Roy, and that just made me, I was laughing so much. What do you think how do you think Kathy Roy processes and digests a haunted house? Do you think she thinks the zombies and ghosts are real?
Yeah, and they stole the election.
And they definitely stole the election.
Yeah.
These are the voters. These zombies they're the ones who were voting on those Dominion machines.
Imagine the sound of her thumbs whacking that keyboard when she types in "ICE ghosts deportation now?" ? Yeah. Kathy Roy, we should say, and you know what? Pablo Picasso, dude, took our whole lives to do this totally unsketched out episode. Kathy Roy, only candidate in Massachusetts endorsed by the premier electioneering anti-trans super PAC called Project 1776.
Yep. Endorsed by both them and our local AFL-CIO.
Yep. Oh, and speaking of endorsements, Joe Petty, Rob Pezzella, all the rest of them that suck, endorsed, of course, by the New England Police Benevolent Association. On the same week that it comes out that members of the New England Police Benevolent Association were apparently just stealing from the union fund. And
I saw that as well.
It was... There's direct Worcester connections. I don't want to get into the whole thing. There are direct Worcester Police Department connections to the people that went unnamed, but their positions were named. Anyway, it's yeah.
I think we're at the beginning of what's going to evolve into a very interesting story there, and when the story is fully a story, or perhaps when we put in a little work to make it one, if no one else does, that will definitely be something very interesting to talk about. Yeah,
that was me just putting a little crushed red in the mirepoix, you know? We're still cooking this one up. But anyway, so I'm reading now from Ashland's candidate profile. Biancheria is running for her 8th term. Let's take a look at Biancheria's votes and what she says on the school committee floor. Parentheses. She talks a lot. Way more than any other school committee member. Many times her sentences are non sequiturs and hard to follow, and she often asks questions of district employees that are clearly answered in their presentations. Biancheria voted against signing onto a lawsuit to stop the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Education. Vote was 6-2 with Kathy Roy also voting against. Can you believe it? Biancheria requested a report on classrooms without door locks and pushed for them to be installed, but only for the schools in her district. That's amazing. It's only District C that needs locks on the doors.
Yeah.
Right before voting to appoint Brian Allen as superintendent, she looked at him and said, quote, "You better not screw this up."
Oh, that is awesome.
Biancheria disparaged the role of climate and culture specialists. These are like basically hall monitors. You know, like she called them glorified bouncers, derogatorily asked if they're going to, quote, wear vests, and belittled student calming rooms. Student calming rooms sounds like a great idea. A kid is acting out, kid's lashing out. Instead of calling the cops on him to put him in the calming room of a freaking drunk tank in the police department, just put him in a room and let him calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a sensible de-escalation solution that, of course, Dianna Biancheria would belittle.
Yeah, we should also say that these, quote, glorified hall monitors are there now because the cops no longer are. So the glorified hall monitors that we had before the glorified hall monitors were police officers with handcuffs and guns.
Who are themselves, let's be real, kind of glorified hall monitors.
Yeah. What do you expect that we think the police are, really, based on everything we talk about, if not glorified hall monitors? So, yeah, I would say it was an improvement. I would say that the numbers of students that are arrested and charged with crimes and expelled from school as early as kindergarten has gone down. I think that's a good thing. Dianna Biancheria, I guess, does not.
No, because her constituency isn't the students. Her constituency is the rank and file of the police department, which is a very interesting constituency for a school committee member to have. Are the cops students? I don't know. I don't think they are.
Well, they vote if they live in the city, which very few of them do.
Right, but they have, uncles, nephews, etc. Right?
So many nephews.
Right. They have a lot of nephews.
A lot of nephews.
They have a lot of nephews. But anyway, so going back to this, there's just one more bullet point to read here, which is itself very good and very funny. Ashlyn really killed it. I'm going to link it. You don't need to read anything besides this one document to know who to vote for and who not to in the school committee race. In 2024, Biancheria gave then Superintendent Rachel Menares an objectively unreasonable evaluation. It was like literally just like the worst mark on every single one, like scrawled, like she was holding the pen with her fist. It's also worth noting that she probably is a holding the pen with her fist kind of. I want to see Dianna Biancheria hold a pen or a pencil, is what I'm saying. It's also worth noting that it was a who copied who moment with Kathy Roy, that if they were students, probably would have been flagged as academic dishonesty. They had the same exact review, and I believe the text supplement of the review was also identical.
Yeah, if you ran it through the plagiarism detector, I don't think it would pass.
No. Last paragraph here. Biancheria has focused her campaign on school safety. Nothing to do with school safety. She's focused her campaign on the police. The budget and career readiness opportunities for students. A campaign platform that has been unchanged for at least 6 years. Which is an amazing last line. That's Ashlyn really demonstrating here how to just like bring receipts on people, and you don't have to use like invective or call them names to just be. It's actually more devastating to just hold these people's records up against them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really not that hard to show exactly what she believes in and stands for. A funny little thing about Dianna. She used to be my neighbor when I lived on the east side, and I will just say this: the one cool thing about Dianna is she is a butt ripper. She rips butts, man.
That's sick. Of course she does.
Yeah, she rips butts.
All right, I'm voting for her.
It's worth considering. And
I didn't know she was so enlightened.
I will share every time I see Dianna. I'm always when I see her at like school committee or something. I'm always like, I see her as the person that I was when I was a serious cigarette smoker, which is that everywhere where I was where I couldn't be smoking a cigarette, I was just thinking about when I got to leave there so I could smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, how Dianna walks through the world. Anyway, this is the funny little story that I have. I was at an East Side establishment that sells alcohol. And Dianna was in the line in front of me, and they pulled out, without a word being spoken, they pulled out from under the counter 2 packs of cigarettes that are no longer legal to sell in Massachusetts.
Wow.
and pulled them out for Dianna.
So
Dianna had a
sick.
special vintage cigarette stash that they kept for her at this establishment.
Dude, where?
It was
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. That's obviously. She's spending $10 on those things too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Those are getting run up from south of the border. Not the kind you're thinking of. The one in South Carolina.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I gotta.
Just a cool little Dianna story.
Dude, she's getting menthols, dude. She's getting.
Allegedly, she may or may not have asked a certain local establishment, which I guess I've already named, but it's since sold. So
I'll bleep it. I can bleep it out.
Yeah.
Whatever. We don't need to shame them for doing stuff that's objectively cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, that's pretty cool that your liquor store had like picked up 20 cartons to hang on to for you. So that, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, purveyors of that store that I very graciously extended the bleep out for, remember my name when you look at this. When you look at this ID, you know, I am amenable to there being things under the table for me.
Absolutely.
So speaking of, I'm on the Telegram's candidate profile of Dianna Biancheria, and let's just keep in mind the copy of homework principle as I read this next part. As a school committee member, Biancheria has been tight with fellow committee members Maureen Vienda and Kathleen Roy, frequently voting in step with them. It's a typo. During meetings, Biancheria is an active participant, frequently asking questions to the superintendent and other school officials when data is being presented. Biancheria said to her, it is important that all the information that the district has available is being discussed in front of the public, and while that may sometimes prolong a meeting, it is a discussion that needs to be had. As a candidate, Biancheria has stressed the need for additional opportunities for student blah 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 blah. When talking to constituents, Biancheria said the biggest topic that comes up is student safety, with concerns ranging from building security to pedestrian safety in school zones to professional development. Oh, God. All right, whatever. So what I wanted to pull out here is that that first paragraph that I read. As during meetings, Biancheria is an active participant, frequently asking questions to the superintendent and other school officials when data is being presented, is essentially a rewrite of Ashlyn saying she talks a lot, way more than any other school committee member. Many times her sentences are non sequiturs and hard to follow. She often asks questions of district employees that are clearly answered in their presentations. So it takes the same the same observation and just twists it to make it a positive thing, allowing her to be quoted on it saying, you know, it's really important that all of this information come out into the public. But there was one bullet point from Ashlyn's story I forgot to read. According to the district, Biancheria never read the school safety audit, despite specifically requesting that it be an option for the committee, and despite mentioning it at almost every meeting that the school safety is a concern for her. Dianna, McCullough, Mailman, and Johnson did read it. So that detail is absent from the Telegram. The fact that her campaign is unchanged for 6 years is absent from the Telegram, because those things would be those are facts that would be non-objective to include.
Yeah, we have to pretend that it is the public who needs to be persistently brought up to speed on pretty rudimentary and basic topics of conversation oftentimes, and not that it's Dianna who needs that, because she doesn't fucking read the documents and is just not very smart.
You know what? It does raise an interesting question that Ashlyn is a lot closer to answering than the Telegram is. But is it that she doesn't read them or can't?
This thought has crossed my mind. Similar to we need to see how she holds a pen. I would like to see her read a document that she has never seen before.
Any little gumshoes out there, there's any number of ways to get an elected official's signature. And there's a really easy way to settle this debate if it just has like the cartoon X's on the signature and date. Then we'll have known. Oh, I just noticed that freaking leaf blower gone. Fucking whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
It's fall. It's leaf blower season.
It's so nice out. We couldn't not do this on the porch. It's way too nice out to not be porch bound. And then continuing this, I want to switch over to Fianna Jatan Singh's candidate profile for some very, very interesting information about our favorite topic, everyone's favorite topic, the thing we love talking about most, Roosevelt School. Roosevelt School, folks.
Yeah, gotta talk about Roosevelt.
Now, we've with the last Telegram article that we read about Roosevelt School had a lot of back and forth between local business owners and local officials. There is some information here in this candidate profile, not a story that's not explicitly about Roosevelt School, that I feel like should have been in the Roosevelt School story. So, where is it here? Oh, yeah, it's at the top. Yeah. So, Jatan Singh is running for a school committee seat in District C. Ran for a spot in a city council in 2023, losing to incumbent George Russell. Jatan Singh said her original motivation to run for city government came from an issue of children walking safely to school, mainly Roosevelt Elementary School, near her home. This is Fianna quoted. "When I first moved into my house in 2010, I realized that Sunderland Road did not have a sidewalk. County Street and the other surrounding streets have no sidewalks. Grafton Street is the only street in the neighborhood with a sidewalk. These are all kids walking to Roosevelt or Rice Square or Price Chopper, all walking on this same road without a sidewalk." Now, why would traffic congestion be so bad at pickup time in this? Is it because they need to pump $4 million into the parking lot because the parking lot's not big enough? Or are there students who would gladly walk home, but their parents have deemed it unsafe for them to do so because all of the streets around this school don't have sidewalks?
Don't have fucking sidewalks.
And we spent an absurd amount of ARPA money on this parking lot project with the ribbon cutting, which we should have Ashlyn on. Ashlyn's like entirely school-focused lens on this is a really interesting perspective because it just shows how political it is. The fact that they had a ribbon cutting for a parking lot repaving is insane, and it came up. It came up at the candidates forum on Tuesday that it's not fixed. The new parking lot did not fix the situation. But here we have the only time I've ever read this information in the Telegram is in a profile of a candidate who's not even running for city council. Like, can't even be the streets and sidewalk person because the school committee doesn't build streets or sidewalks. And neither does the city council, but, I mean, that's still what they campaign on. And here I am reading in this story that there is apparently, the city could avail itself of a state grant program called Safe Routes to Schools grants that are infrastructure grants handed out by the state to fill in gaps in sidewalk coverage in the neighborhoods immediately around schools. And apparently, instead of doing that, we spent millions of dollars in staked political capital on adding 40 parking spots to the fucking school's parking lot.
So that people can, if it works correctly, which apparently it isn't, the best case scenario is that people could sit in a parking lot for hours waiting in line for drop-off and pick-up of their kids, as opposed to sitting their cars on the road.
Right. So all of those cars are still going to be idling like in the air directly around the school for hours on end during the hottest part of the school day. But they're just going to be doing it actually closer to the building.
Yes, good point.
Yeah.
Damn, it's wind.
I know, dude. This is going to be a noisy episode, but I'm at peace with it. What are you going to do? It's a really nice, it's a pleasant sound, in my opinion.
I completely agree.
And then I've been teaching myself some EQ tricks for isolating out noises, and it's pretty interesting what you can do. But anyway, so I just wanted to pull that out. I wanted to highlight this, that the only place I have ever heard it mentioned anywhere, anywhere ever mentioned that, one, there's major gaps in sidewalk coverage around this school that's causing traffic congestion problems from school pickup, and that there is a state grant program to ameliorate this exact problem. And kicker to the whole shebang, this is Fiona here. In Grafton, they did that in order to get sidewalks for the kids to walk. So, like, the town over fixed this problem by applying for a state grant that Worcester should know about, right? And apparently hasn't. Now, I would love to be wrong. I would love to have my facts checked and, have it be demonstrated that, we did apply and didn't get it for some reason. But you'd think that the 8 people in City Manager Eric Batista's press office would have included some of those details in the press release that went out about the ribbon cutting.
Yeah. These are the people who can see a very obvious problem with a very obvious solution. If you think about a city in the way that any normal person would think about a city, and said, you know what we can do about that is build a bigger parking lot and not sidewalks.
You know what this election, just in general, has me thinking of? Like, how many problems would be instantly fixed by, like, a state receivership of Worcester?
It's a good point.
Like, there would be so many problems about this city that would be instantly fixed by a competent bureaucracy. By the cold, detached hands of a professionalized state bureaucracy would smooth over some pretty glaring and easy to fix imperfections.
Which
pretty quickly. Yeah.
By the way, is supposed to be the entire fucking point of a Plan E government, of the style of government that we have.
Yeah.
The reason, the argument for a city manager style of government is that you remove the blatant politics of the executor's position because they're not an elected official. And Worcester is a special kind of place that has found a way to completely circumvent that to turn it into the worst of both worlds.
Right. Just taking like Eric Batista basically operates like a shitty, corrupt mayor, but with even less accountability.
Yes.
And Chris, so I'm just going to fact check you on the Plan E thing. Like that is like the on paper version.
Yes.
But I will say that the realpolitik version of why we moved to Plan E was even less successful because our first move to Plan E was in the 1950s, and it was to stop the Irish.
That's right.
And boy, oh boy, did that fucking fail. Because now it's all Irish. And it is an Irish American city hall. And let me tell you, it fucking shows. It fucking shows. We could have been an Italian American. We could have had that, and we could have had a really cool, dense, and opulent city like Providence, Rhode Island. But instead, we came under the uneven, shaky hand of the Irish American, your Tim Murray lineage, let's just say, and it's just hollowed out, cash grab after cash grab, and the cops get whatever they want, and no one else does.
Yeah, and an interesting thing about the two times we've moved to Plan E is if you look at voting data in the city, voting
so
in the
depressing.
voting in the city of Worcester peaks in 1955 with our population up until recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most people that were ever in Worcester and the most voting ever in Worcester.
Mm-hmm.
The first time that we switched to Plan E, on or around 1955, voting starts to decline, and it remains on a decline with population until the worst that it gets, which is around 1985, i.e. the second time we switched to Plan E. So we're not grasping at straws here when we say there is a correlation between these things. Now, since 85 to now, population in the city has increased to what it is now, which is the most people that have ever lived in Worcester, and yet voting and municipal voting in particular, continues to decline. So they didn't manage to beat the Irish, but they did manage to make this a place where people are completely divorced from having or wanting a say in their city government. So in that way, I would say that they got exactly what they wanted.
They have, if the goal was to dissuade people of their ability to affect change in City Hall, then mission freaking accomplished, brother.
Yeah.
If the goal, and this definitely wasn't the goal, but if the goal was to turn the city council into a fucking circus of grotesqueries and freaks, that, let's just say that was accomplished before like David Webb was born, right? You cannot just pin it on current the circus has been a long time in the making.
Yes.
And everybody complaining about the current tensions has played a role in creating a political body that is just literally a reality TV show.
Yeah, and again, the tensions, taking the specific topics of those tensions aside, the tension in the most general sense is people coming to City Hall to tell City Council to do or not do things that it doesn't want to hear from them about. That's the problem. If you get right down to it, what all these people are talking about is people showing up and demanding redress from city officials. Right. That's what they don't like. They do not like that. That is not business as usual, and they want to return to our regularly scheduled program.
Right. It's people literally just dipping their toe in the idea that they're dealing with a democratic entity and finding out very quickly extremely quickly, depending on a few socioeconomic factors, how little of a democracy it actually is, and then they get punished for caring, and they stop caring, and lo and behold, you have sub 20% voter turnout, and no prospect of that increasing anytime soon.
Yeah. And here we are, exactly where we all could have predicted we would be.
And the best,
if you just look at what's been set up for us.
And the best city councilor I think Worcester probably has ever had has an assault charge against that filed by the police department. So.
And a candidate with an opponent, rather, I should say, with their press person telling the candidate in emails that they were stupid enough to send to the wrong people to duck debating the best city councilor that we've maybe ever had.
Yeah. That story has been in my notes, and like most of it. So the public part, there's the screenshot from Walter. It is public on Worcester Political Dialogue, right?
It was. I think it's been taken down.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
it exists. I have it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is very explicit that. So there's a debate for District 5 set up for later this month that Mark Henderson is moderating, and Mark Henderson. I like Mark Henderson, but he's not some sort of radical. That's a good pick for debate between a guy who doesn't know anything and a woman who knows a lot about almost everything that goes on in City Hall. Because he's going to ask the normal questions with easy answers, and apparently that was too much. That was too much. Walter Bird, he's like, hey, I know I'm not working on the campaign anymore, but this is a really, really bad idea because it's 5 days before the election. And he just immediately concedes that Attell is going to look really good coming out of that debate. He basically tells Jose there's no way he can win it.
Yeah. Also, we find out in the least surprising news ever that Walter Bird just continues his transition to being Milton from Office Space, but meaner and more regressive. In that he is apparently still working or trying to work for Jose. He's just no longer being paid.
I believe you have my media job. I believe you have my media job. I believe you have my job in local media.
Okay, but I'm gonna burn down the campaign.
I'm gonna throw the whole thing into the realm of farcical absurdity. But can I please have my media job? Yeah.
Yeah, they moved Walter down to Storage B, but he's still showing up every day.
He still finds
a way.
Love
of the game.
Because love finds a way.
Love finds a way. Woo! All right. I got a couple things to close this out.
Cool. Yeah. Fun topic time. We're done talking about.
Yeah, I had thrown on here a Dear Abby about how do you stop your sister from stealing cheap little things every time she comes to your house. I'm gonna skip that because I remembered on the way over here that you have a much better advice column in your publication, and we should not be platforming Abigail Van Buren, who is somehow been writing Dear Abby for longer than I've been alive, but the picture, it's like Menudo. They just cycle them in. Persona
non grata in these parts.
Yeah, fuck
Don't ever bring up that name to Sean Connolly. He'll punch the biggest hole you've ever seen through the drywall.
Yeah, I mean, has Abigail Van Buren been a candidate for Pope? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You hear that? You hear that? We have a freaking papal candidate on the rolls here. It's a real serious operation.
So what I got for you is I've got two recommendations for things that people should watch. I'll start the first one by saying there was an article in MassLab that I saw yesterday about a rare bird that people are flocking to go see out on the South Shore somewhere. I don't remember where. There is a roseate spoonbill that apparently got pulled up here by the nor'easter. I will describe the bird to you as, I think an accurate description would be weird flamingo.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that from Yellow or Silver? No, I think that might be from Pokemon Gold.
Yeah. That's a good one if you can capture it.
That is a real rare bird from Pokemon ass looking bird right there.
So this reminded me of a documentary that I watched recently that was amazing. It's on YouTube. It's free, and it is called Listers. And Listers, I learned. I love learning. There's very few things I love more than learning about weird subcultures that I will never participate in, but that I like to know exist. And one of them is extreme birders. They do a thing called a something year, and it's like it's the year that you really go to try to catch them all. And there's this documentary called Listers about these two young guys. Listers. I will link it.
Way too close to blisters for me.
I know. It's better than anything related to blisters, I promise. And yeah, it's just really cool. It's about these two guys who basically live out of a van and travel all across North America to try to see as many of these birds as they can. And it's about the type of people who do things like that. There is a husband and wife that are interviewed a few times throughout that talk about things like they won't look at birds when the other person, if they're like out on a rare bird watch, they won't look around at the birds if one of them like goes to the bathroom or something. So because there are marriages that have been ruined because one spouse saw the rare bird and the other one didn't get to.
You saw the red-horned woodpecker, the red-billed horned woodpecker, and you didn't inform me of that?
Yep. There's
cheating. That's cheating.
There's also talk of cheating in reporting birds that you may or may not have actually seen.
Oh my God.
It's fascinating, but it's really good. It's more heartwarming than maybe I've made it sound. It's just these guys who decide to just like, I guess for absence and anything better to do in young adulthood in this day and age, they just go do this crazy bird adventure.
That's sick, dude.
It's called Blisters, and I recommend it.
The
last thing I was going to send us out on is just a recommendation to watch. I think we may have talked about Kneecap before on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, Kneecap, for anyone who doesn't remember, is this awesome Irish Gaelic language or dual language hip-hop group. They are very cool. They are very anti-colonial, leftist, pro-Palestine.
Irish Beastie Boys.
And they just did a live stream show on the 10th because they were originally supposed to be playing a show at King's Theater in Brooklyn, but they cannot get visas to come into the United States or Canada because of their free speech in support of Palestine and against the genocide that is continuing to happen in Palestine.
Wow. Surely our free speech advocates are all over that one.
I know, yeah. I remember Charlie Kirk talking about this just before he met his maker.
I thought you were going to do that. Never mind. Keep going.
Man, I really wish I knew what you thought I was going to do, but let's leave that to the imagination.
Just a metaphor. Never mind. There's a certain metaphor that's very funny about it. Anyway, keep going.
So they played this live stream. It's very cool. It opens in a tiny little pub, like a small set pub. There's some members of the Merry Wallopers, another one of my favorite Irish bands. We have used some of their music as an outro. I brought this up so that people watch this, but also I think we should use some audio from this as an outro.
Awesome.
Anyway, it's amazing. It's a really good show. If you want something to maybe make you feel a little less bad, and something to, like, I don't know, hype you up, see some good music from some cool people, I highly recommend it.
Sick. Yeah, we'll put that in right about here. But first, Chris, are you watching Task?
I have not watched Task yet.
Task?
It's on my list.
Task is one of the best written TV shows I've seen in a long time. And there's no way that I can explain it without spoiling anything. There is an incredible extended bird-watching bit built into the writing of the show over like 3 or 4 episodes that leads to a conclusion that is frankly awe-inspiring in terms of the craft of putting together good television. So that's my recommendation. Gotta watch Task.
Fantastic.
New episode tonight.
I can't wait.
Oh my god, is it good, dude? It's so fucking good.
If it redeems me in any way at all, one of the reasons I have not yet seen Task, despite several people, including you now, recommending it highly, is that I've been watching Reacher. I just finished season 3 of Reacher.
Oh, I've heard that's good.
It's bad good. It's,
I know what you mean.
it scratches the same itch for me as like later Sons of Anarchy.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm all caught up on Reacher now, and I'm ready to move on to Task.
Hell yeah, dude. Task is so sick. It's like what I look forward to most in the week. There's Task tonight, dude. I'm already getting fired up. Fucking Task. Me and Katie just like go up to each other and we're just like, Task.
Awesome. I can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We never said it even one time during this recording. This has been Outdoor Cats.
Oh yeah, it's been Outdoor Cats.
Yeah,
it's Sunday, October 19th.
Today is Sunday, October 19th.
And we definitely we put a lot of prep into this show, as we talked about.
Yeah,
we definitely are real professionals.
We've been preparing our entire lives for this moment, as I would argue.
That's right, and as Pablo Picasso would argue.
As our peer.
As our peer.
Our peer in creativity and craft. Okay. Yeah, we will, this time next week, we'll be back at it. Hopefully on the porch again still. If this Indian summer keeps going. But have a good week, everybody.
Later.
Marching down O'Connell Street with the sturdy plough on high. There goes the citizen army with their fists raised in the sky. Leading them is a mighty man with a mad rage in his eye. My name it is James Connolly, and I didn't come here to die. No, I didn't come here to die. James called out, "Oh citizen, the system is a curse. An English boss is a monster, but an Irish one even worse. They'll never lock us out again, and here's the reason why. My name it is James Connolly, and I didn't come here to die. No, I didn't come here to die, but to fight for the rights of the working man, the small farmer too. Protect Public Naharan from the bosses and their screws. Hold on to your principles and don't give up the dream. A republic for the working folk, economic liberty." Now we're in the GPO with the bullets whizzing by. McPeardish and McDermott are bidding each other goodbye. Up then spoke a mighty man with a mad rage in his eye. My name it is James Connolly, and I didn't come here to die. No, I didn't come here to die, but to fight for the rights of the working man, the small farmer too. Protect Public Naharan against the bosses and their screws. Hold on to your principles and don't give up the dream. A republic for the working folk, economic liberty. We fought them to a standstill, and the flames lit up the sky, till a bullet pierced our leader, and we gave up the fight. They shot him in Kilmainham jail, but they'll never kill his cry. My name it is James Connolly, and I didn't come here to die. No, I didn't come here to die, but to fight for the rights of the working man, the small farmer too. Protect public hearing against the bosses and their screws. Hold on to your principles and don't give up the dream. A republic for the working folk, economic liberty. Chris Bourne, Larry Kerman.
Lovely.
Next.
Right, what we got? Right, what we got?